returned yet. I'll have him call as soon as he comes in.
And this is already going. So we good.
It's another day in paradise. America, we terrorize. We're the home of the parasites. It's another day we're paralyzed. Wait till we're sacrificed. It's all bad in the hood, all good in the afterlife. It's all good in the afterlife.
Oh, this is your first time on the show, first time on the podcast, dude.
Yeah.
Where are you from? What was your humble beginnings, man?
So, grew up a lot in Alton, like East St. Louis area. Just, bounced a lot kind of from school to school, moved around a lot as a kid. Wasn't like rich or anything, you know what I mean? Was a little bit on the more of the poverty side of things.
Poverty side of things? Like were you like only child in that case?
More so of like, I was definitely the baby of the family. Like I'm the youngest sibling,
Really?
You know what I mean? But no, I'm not, more so just not having, all of the means that someone would seem necessary to have, like, kind of pave your way, essentially. You know what I mean? But who's to determine what that is at the end of the day? Most people that make it and are the greatest, the most successful, have been through some struggles that, that's your testimony. Those are your tribulations. So,
right.
But yeah, that type of stuff. You know what I mean? Not going to get through my life story, but I came up, grew up a screw up type shit, bumped my head and then beat my head off some shit type. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We all go through our little life experiences. But yeah, that was kind of it. Grew up, in between Alton, East St. Louis area, Madison County, St. Clair County, those areas. I was born in Wood River though, but.
Did you play any sports when you went to school? Cause I know you did. I mean, we grew up with like Randy Ray's and the Dog Foods and the Unknown Productions and whatnot. So did you ever get a chance to bump heads with them in school, like play with them, or
So with at Alton, I wouldn't like, bro. I was no like phenom at any sport really. Like I was athletic. I always had like an athletic build type shit. I'd be like, one that I feel like every coach in middle school and high school and shit always just looks at you, and if they like think you have even like a half
potential,
any type of potential. Really, sometimes even none at that point. Like, they're betting on someone to turn them around. But regardless, I wasn't a first-round draft pick. But I enjoyed activities. I was in the park and rec basketball group in 6th grade with, like, I think it was Golly, one of the Golly brothers.
Oh, Jonathan Golly?
Yeah.
Okay.
With him, who else? There was a lot of kids I played with. But it's like, dude, almost 30 now, so it's like when I see people, it's funny, went to Walmart today and I just look around and I'm like, wow, it's like, if you wanted to say hi to everybody, you'd never get any shopping done type shit, you feel me? So one of those scenarios, but I played all types of sports, man. I loved it. In 6th grade, I did, was it football? I think I did football in 7th grade. But in 6th grade, I did the basketball. I don't even know if I stayed the whole season, but I remember playing at like Evangelical Church or whatever it was.
I was over there in Godfrey, right?
Yeah, right up there, past Hit and Run and whatnot. But I just it was fun. So I tried to stay into the sports because I seen it. It would keep me busy, and I had a lot of friends doing it. So I did wrestling. I did the basketball, the football in 7th grade. I did wrestling in high school. So when I did wrestling, I met a lot of people there. And then track was fun.
Okay.
Shout out to
now,
track.
when did you pick up rapping? Now, was that in between the sports?
Man, rapping for me, man, that was just like, that's funny. I didn't even mention it, right? Because like at the end of the day, it's so secondhand nature to me. I think I've been rapping since like 10, 11 years old, like dead ass 10, 11 years old, and I've been doing it for so long. Anyone that knows me will tell you that, like in 6th and 7th grade, at the lunch tables in Alton, I would rap. People beat on the tables. Brandon Clark, one of my good homies, one of my close people.
You said Brandon Clark?
Yeah, my brother, man. And just rapping at the lunch table and shit, remixing like Fireman by Lil Wayne right there live on set, so yeah. I've always been somebody that was just musically inclined as far as like just coming off the top. I think it was a poem I did in like second or third grade or something like that, where I just like, it was in East Middle School. Shout out East Middle though, East Middle School days. But yeah, I think it was a poem I wrote. I think it was about my grandma that I'd never met. I think that was just kind of like, and I say I think, bro, because as we get older, like, our memory can be as vivid as we want it to be, but every person believes in their own truth and their own story,
Right.
It's like, I'm telling you what I know to the best of my knowledge, right? Because somebody will tell you everything about another person, and then when it comes time to tell you about themselves, how sure are they really?
But it's best to get it from the horse's mouth.
There you go. Facts for sure. Yeah. But yeah, dude, music was just always like an outlet for me. You know what I mean? Like, not just an outlet, but like, I loved everything about music. I remember jamming Slipknot and Marilyn Manson and stuff growing up, which you wouldn't think that of me if you listen to my music. Some people would, because of the selection that they might listen to my music. I have a lot of music.
A lot.
For people that don't know, if you look up Deuce Dev, I can sit here and ramble off my Instagram and my Twitter and all this other crap, bro. Just type in Deuce Dev and I'm gonna pop up.
You'll find
I'm gonna pop up. I'm not one of those people that have like such a. I like my name. It just came to me.
Yeah, I was gonna actually ask you that next.
I figured that was coming. Not to like take the shine, but it was just one of those things that came to me. Deuce Dev. I went by D's. I went by Deuce. I went by D's. Way before the D's nuts shit was funny.
D's nuts?
Yeah, I actually seen that dude on Hollywood Boulevard out in California. He stepped on my cousin's shoe. Funny.
He stepped on your cousin's shoe?
Funny story, actually. Nothing crazy happened, but my cousin just made a funny joke. Kind of looked back at him like, nigga, come on, dwell in the not so great. No offense or nothing.
Yeah, I mean,
hope dude's doing well type shit.
So what is there any meaning behind your name?
Deuce Dev. So like Deuce is like, it's easy too, two times. Do it 2 times. Like, everything should be done twice. Check over it again. If you want to do it right, make sure you look over your work type thing. Deuce to me just always like Deuce Dev. It sounded nice, and if it didn't make sense, a motherfucker can make sense of it. You feel me? So it was something that simple, and to me it had like a deep meaning. It the personification that came along with it, kind of like the idea was nice behind it. Seeing myself in that limelight of Deuce Dev. I think everybody does have it, but personally, I know myself. I do have like, I would say like that other personality. That's my, I change form when I go on stage, when I go do these shows, when I hop in the booth, like, so it's nice.
I mean, that sounds like a very, that's a very put together story. Like, you didn't make no mistakes putting your character or the artist together. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're definitely well packaged. Like you were saying, doing my research on you, I've definitely seen, I know you for years, but, you know what I'm saying, the music that you have, your catalog is great, you feel me? And, like, you don't necessarily rap about the typical things most people rap about. It's not about money, it's not about girls, it's not about clothes. I mean, you had me a little in awe with Paradise. I mean, it's nice wordplay you did there.
Appreciate it.
Paradise.
Yeah.
I see that your music is more conscious. Is there a reason behind that?
For sure, man. I think that it's important. I think that it's important to have that, right? Not that I don't appreciate the aspect of just getting out your feelings, making music to make music. I don't think everything should be publicized for the world to have access to, but we're going through what is the digital age. It is what it is, right? Embrace it, face it. Don't sit there and let it bleed you dry. But what I've realized is that having that conscious music, those Joey Badasses, the Nas, the Mortal Techniques, the people that really try to they can be mainstream conscious at that point. I even I spoke with Los on Clubhouse.
Los?
Yeah, King Los.
Who's King Los?
King Los. He's a pretty popular battle rapper, man. He goes by this really King Los. I don't know if you heard this song. It's with Marsha Ambrosius. Marsha Ambrosia, I believe. It's we're gonna tuck this chain, tuck this fucking. How's it go, man? I'd have to look it up.
I mean, because music is so broad, and for listeners who don't know who he is, that's why.
Yeah, King Los, he's cool, bro. He's a conscious rapper. He does a lot of freestyles. If you just type in King Los anywhere, you'll see him, man. I'm one of those guys that just don't give in. I couldn't tell you I love Tupac. I resonate deeply with Tupac. I've met some people that, you know, rapped with Biggie and Tupac and was friends with them. Super cool people.
What was that? What was it like meeting them?
It's neat. It's a neat experience just having that interaction, you know what I mean? And some of these people, you feel me, like meeting some of the people that I've met, and then like even some of the connections that I've made because we have social media, because we have apps like Clubhouse or apps like, you know, Instagram and Facebook, and people, they do see your presence, or you reach out to the right people in their corner, you just so happen to make that connection. It's an enlightening experience for the most part. Also, nothing against people, but I will say that there's a reason for like a never meet your heroes type thing, right? There is a reason for that, and I personally never found like an idolization. I don't think in rappers so much as I did like. If you ask about me, like, I believe I'm the best. You know, I'm Ash Ketchum in this bitch, but I'm sorry, like, yeah, of course, everybody should do that, and I respectfully understand that. But if anyone comes in here and sits with me, you know, and freestyles for however long they want to freestyle, like, at the end of the day, I promise your head's gonna turn more to the shit that comes out of my, you know, the words that come out of my mouth. That's what I'm willing to bet on.
Okay.
You know, that's what I'm willing to bet on, and I've always been that type of guy. You know, people that know me with my rap career. That's how. Now that I'm a father, now that I'm, you know, a much different, you know, creature, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a different animal. You know, a different animal now. It's more dialed in. It's more scheduled. It's not so bizarre. There's not so much haywire to it. You know, I wanna stay focused and stay on track and actually, you know, because like you said, you brought up the conscious path. Like, to me, that also is there has to be like a certain stature of, okay, if you're gonna rap, you spitting on that level, if you're gonna talk that shit, how much do we see? And I could care less because it's really hard. Hey, I want everybody to release themselves, you know, when they doing their rap music. Say how you feel, rap what you experience. But in the deeper idea of things, can you talk to yourself through this music? Is this music something that's gonna promote you to go toward the things that you want to do, outside of just for the entertainment purposes or the fun and excitement? Is this actually good food for your soul? You know, and if you could sit back and ask yourself that, like, I've made some records that I could say, you know, hey, that might be a strip club hit or something.
Right.
But at the same time, you know, I sit back and I look at that, and that'll be a reason you won't hear one of those records from me for a while. It'll be like I had to get in that vibe or that pocket. And, you know, I'm no like saint or savior, nothing like that. But I do like, I think music there is a conscious connection to the higher power, that talent. There is a divinity within being able to be a poet and take advantage of, you know,
anything that you got going on in the universe.
Yeah.
Now, how did you become this conscious rapper? Like, is there like, did you become spiritual at some point? Was there like a relative?
Man, I think, you know, funny because you go back to the beginning of it, you know, at the end of the day, a lot of the trials and tribulations I went through as a young man, you know, a little boy even, so to speak, I didn't get that much of a chance to do the little boy thing as much, so.
You're supposed to grow up pretty fast.
Had a quick reality check at young ages with a lot of different situations, you know, so that kind of put me in the perspective of just, you know, what can I do? I've always been like a dynamic energy as far as like, and I want to say leadership, but I don't like, I've been in a debate with that, not recently, but you know, sometime in my life, I like the leadership idea of things, but I want to be an example, and enough to be, because leadership has this like stigma around it, right? Like, let the leader lead, the leader has to go do this and do this. Like, if I can be by your side through the process and still have that leader mentality and that leader energy, I'm a much useful force. You know what I mean? It's like the wolf doesn't walk off outside of the pack. The wolf is at the, you know, the strongest wolf is at the very back. You know, they have their segment that they have when they're lined up, you know, how they have.
And it's crazy that you talk about being a leader and a wolf and whatnot. Now, does that caveat and be the reason why you came up with Dago Dogs and all that?
That's funny. So, yeah, Dago Dogs. Yeah, so I moved. So my transition really from Illinois to California led to that. and that all led to like my solar experience and exploration as well, which I'm still currently doing the solar thing. And Dago Dogs is set to launch coming this summer. It'll relaunch here in Illinois. But man, the Dago Dogs. So that doesn't really we can caveat. You feel me? So, but really no. But like that dog, bro. You hear the dog. You don't hear the dog clipping, clapping. You know, it's I got a dog. It's her name's Doja. She's a sweet baby. You know, we had another dog named Indica that we had rescued and ended up, finding a home for afterward.
Oh, okay.
And that's kind of where the Dago dog stemmed from. There was not a lot of controversy, but there was a little bit of controversy on the idea of like similar to a Guido statement or term that Dago was kind of like calling an Italian some type of Guido or something like that. So Dago had a different meaning. Nothing to
Guido
deter,
dogs.
whatever, right? So I got rid of the Dago dog's name and ended up transitioning and kind of looking at a different opportunity for more of a black-owned business partnership with my buddy Josh, and that's the Flavor Bros. So Dago Dogs is now the Flavor Bros. So that's gonna be what the name will be when we reopen here in Illinois. And the Flavor Bros, I like it more. I just didn't.
I mean, it does sound fire.
Yeah, it doesn't have the controversy or the stigma behind it. And it's got a lot of hot shit on the menu, and it kind of keeps the diversity in the name as much as we can without like saying, hey, we got all this shit, we got everything, we got the flavors, what we got.
So what are you gonna be doing with that? What was Flavor Bowls exactly? Is it like barbecue? Is it hot?
So
dogs too?
we're talking. We're still gonna be having the Dago dog present on the menu. That's gonna be an item that's still present there. You know what I mean? We're gonna have the Fuego dog, the spicy version of the Dago dog. We're gonna have other rollouts and items that'll they'll be listed at the launch. We already have kind of like a menu designed, and different menu templates designed on what we really want it to pan out to be and for the customer experience. It is something that I put a lot of work into. I've had partners that have come and gone and kind of tossed in their effort as well that have helped. And then there's of course, I gotta thank Bree, my girl, because she's
Shout out Bree.
yeah, she does it all, man. She's a badass. So just thankful to have a rock by my side to really push me through with that one too. But yeah, the Flavor Bros, it's a lot to manage a food business, man. If you're looking into opening, running, and operating, right? If you want to open and run and you don't do any of the operating actually on the inside as well, might not be as tough, but it's a real grind if you're going to be the one setting up, closing, and doing all that while running a food business. Just a heads up.
I mean, it sounds like a lot.
Interesting. Yeah, and I was doing a pop-up style food business, a beachside barbecue, which if you guys look at TikTok, there's the Flavor Bros. If you type that in, the Flavor Bros on TikTok.
Oh, so that's your official TikTok now?
Yep.
Oh, so you really already got stamped and approved to move on.
Yeah, we got like 100,000 views or something on TikTok for we do the Flavor Bros. It's a hot dog competition, a hot dog eating competition.
Oh.
If you can eat it in under a minute, you win it. The Flavor Bros Gourmet Hot Dog Competition. It's a foot-long Hebrew national dog. It's gluten-free. It's kosher. It comes with, it's a 4 1/4 inch French roll. It's grilled over mesquite. It has garlic aioli on the bun. That's just how the dog comes stationary. Then if you want, it fully loaded, it gets tri-colored peppers roasted with a little bit of
peppers?
Yeah. So red, green, yellow, or orange in the mix of those. Bell peppers, of course, and then we drizzle that up with a little bit of cheese. We throw a little bacon on it if you're into the bacon. For those that are into it, and then you get your little cotijas as well. And then cotijas is Mexican cheese.
Okay.
Cotija. If I'm saying it right, I'm not a Mexican. I know I might look Mexican, but yeah, bro. And then that gets you get your sauces. So you get 3 sauces out of 10. The selection of 10, 4 of which are house made, which we actually blend all the peppers, do all the whipping.
So you got your own sauce too.
Yeah, dude, there's a lot of stuff that was going into that, and we'll go into it furthermore. I will have a few more hands on deck when we reopen the Flavor Bros. So that's gonna be a good.
That sounds like you're doing a lot, man. You got your own flavor. You got your own restaurant / pop-up thing. Hey, we gotta get you on these festivals.
I'm down, man. I'm down.
Now, how did you get into solar energy? It's all like one package deal. Like, how
So-
did that work out?
I think, man, I swear I got ADHD or something because you think I had, 10 lives. I am only 30, so I'm still young. I'm still moving. And I feel like I've done a lot. I still need to establish myself very well in the industry. And I think solar is the one industry outside of music that I have done that. And I'm really like, I'm in a position to where I just love solar so much. And when I was introduced to it, I was in sales already. That was about 5.5, 6 years ago. And I was in California, in San Diego. I was selling AT&T and DirecTV and Walmart.
Oh, so you're one of the people in the electronics.
Hey, quick question: who you got for internet cable, man? That was the quick slogan, the pitch.
Did you get a lot of customers?
I was good. I was in the top 100 in the nation for AT&T and DirecTV. But the earnings I think should have been a little better. And for anyone thinking like California's not cheap, so understand that that's a different.
$5 out there.
Oh my God. You might as well hold your leg and walk around and offer that out to people because
Oh, really?
yeah, it's expensive, man. Like life is expensive out there, but it's also inexpensive. I don't want to like scare people away from it. Don't think that like because someone says the cost of living is different in a different state. I would suggest to actually investigate what the lifestyle is like in that state because some of the things that you may have to purchase or deal with in other states add into the cost of living that aren't so much associated with the gross,
Right.
So I think that's important to do for those people. Like I loved California though. It was that was like my testimony to renewable energy really is in that sales position. I found there was a guy, this long-haired like Hawaiian guy. You know me coming from Illinois, got a different background. Meeting this long-haired like surfer dude, real tan, and he like comes up to me. He's like, after I pitched him in the Walmart, of course, and he's like, yo, hey man, dude, you're really good at this. You're we wore a suit and tie in Walmart, so we were like doing
Professional.
upscale, AT&T and DirecTV salesman, so to speak. And it's funny because I looked at the contract. I remember looking at the contract when he gave it to me because he was like, man, if you like this money, you should look at solar money. You should look at what solar money does. And I'm like, well, what is it? Let's see what that might look like, I looked at it, and even a small percentage of like what these loans go for, or what these systems might go for, is a good piece of, commission for a entrepreneur that wanted to be a solar salesman. So when you look at the opportunity and you think, wow, well, if this is available, I need to kind of search the market. So lo and behold, I wouldn't even say it was probably a few weeks out, 2 younger guys that were super cool, still my friends to this day, my boy Ben and Tyler, and they were like, hey, dude, you need to check out solar. And the way they came to me, their approach, it was just different. They had they're from Oregon, they weren't from California. They were nothing against that, but they were super cool people. I ended up selling them AT&T and DirecTV, going to their house, checking out the lifestyle, kind of seeing what's going on in the background there. I'm like, okay, these kids are making, they're 4 or 5 years younger than me. I'm like thinking, all right, these guys are making hand over fist, like, money. Or I think Tyler's only like 3 years younger than me, and Ben might be the same age, a year older than me. So we're around the same age, but they're still like, this was like, 4 years ago at this point, almost 5 years ago at this point. So it's like, okay, what are these guys doing? So they tell me, they're like, hey, look into the solar. They take me up to this place called Helio Gold, where I met some big players in the game like Jake has and Ben Mack, and I've met other people that came through, came and went and stopped by, showed their face, just came by to kind of show us a blueprint of, a system we might be using or something. But that was a super cool experience, and that kind of ever since I opened my mind to actually being able to help people, they're saving money, and I'm making good money. Why the hell would I ever do anything else, And I've done music, I've done shows, I've gotten paid for a lot of things. Like, this is hand over fist, like, there's no question asked.
It just makes sense.
It makes sense. If you have, or let me tell you this: if you don't have any of this shit, you can still get by. If you have effort, one thing you can't go without is effort. But what I will say is that if you have some type of organization skills, you're socially inclined, you can hold a good conversation. You're not recluse to speak, and you care about what you do. I mean, just that baseline alone, you would change your life changing, right? If you're the normal 9 to 5, if you're making 25 to 55 under 70K a year, because I would say this in Illinois right now, if you're making 70, 80K a year, you're unless you like doing exotic stuff or doing, most people are pretty chill out here. They're not trying to have an extravagant lifestyle and go. But yeah, if you want to change your life and make some, big money, there's a certain point of money you make, and you're just like,
I'm good.
This is cool.
Right.
Why would I, if I enjoy peace in my life, if I enjoy my life,
why do I need more?
Why would I try to, don't fix it if it ain't broken. If you start making sure, that's for some people. For other people, it's like, conquer the world. I have dreams, I have goals that I have to set out and accomplish, and that's going to require a fuck ton of money. So they'll chase the dollar, And I'm one of those people that want to chase the fucking money. I'm ambitious. I find myself sometimes exhausting myself because I'll put in so much work, the break will kind of like, I'll deflate after a minute. So I have to get a better even keel and a better control of my energy and investing it in the right places.
Oh, that's understandable.
Solar, it showed me a lot, man. It was, and I'd give it to not just solar, but sales. Sales is the one organization that's uncapped, everything that's in this world had to be sold or bought.
Right.
So
with that being said, now, do you have any goals or aspirations for music, or are you taking a pause from music and just doing more of the entrepreneur things?
So, with the music, I'm a little weak. Right. With the music stuff, I love it, man. It'll always be a part of me. But I'm almost 30, and it's like, I still make shit. I still write. Even if you look behind you can see the write one song a week, which I just wrote 2 or 3 of them just last week. So, and that's just me. My songwriting process. This is once again why I stand by the cockiness and my appeal to the musical nature is, hey, bro, I've been doing this for a long fucking time. You know what I mean? This is 18 years going on, that's a minute, going on 19 years now doing music, and I play a little guitar. I play a little piano. I sing. I write a little country music. I've done different genres of music. So, and I'm so much more. I'll tell you this: rap does bring this cockiness, arrogance out of you. No matter what, you could be the most you could be the most polite rapper. Like Lecrae clearly has a mean bone. You know what I mean? People he ain't got a mean bone in his body. Bro, you could say the wrong stuff to Lecrae, you're gonna piss that man off. He's probably gonna try to punch you with Jesus in his hand or something, Whatever, knock the Holy Spirit out your ass, start rapping Bible verses to you. But at the end of the day, what you put into your music, it matters to you, and to me, it's I don't channel as much as that rap persona ideology through my other music. I think as much as I don't know too many people that do it. That's one thing I want to do too, is just go into the other genres hardcore. I've not seen too many rappers go into other genres.
It can happen.
And that's.
With that being said, do you have a particular genre you want to go into first?
Shit you not, I would probably go into country.
Okay.
And I really like country music. I love it. I like Morgan Wallen, man. I like Luke Combs. I like,
Luke Combs.
He's killer, bro. He
Okay.
said his future ex-mother-in-law or something like that. That one's a good one. I love country music though. It's good stuff. I like R&B. I like pop and all that stuff.
So, since you like R&B, have you made songs or did features with people like Randy Ray and whatnot?
Oh yeah. Me and Randy got quite a few tracks out, man. Yeah, if you type in my name, you'll see up in the top 50 songs or whatever on there.
So I hope your first song you're gonna make is on this board right here, right? One song a week. So one of them better be a country song, yes?
Yeah, no, that's funny. Yeah, challenged me to do it because I need, someone to hold me accountable. Yeah, I'll write a country song this week.
Hey, you said it. Now, do
I'll
you
write
have
a
a
country
certain
song this week.
a favorite venue you played at that you like to shout out or talk about?
That's crazy. I performed at quite a few places in California, which was cool.
Yeah.
That was an experience. Till 2 Club. See, and that's crazy too, is because I do get fucked up when I go and perform usually. So it's like, it's hard to remember some of the venues. No offense to the venues that I shout out, or don't shout out more or less, but like, I performed at quite a few venues. I'm trying to think of the names, which is funny. I remember Go Ham Radio had me on a couple of interviews, and I was on a podcast with King Emery as well out there.
Wow.
Which he's somebody I've done some features with and some albums with. King Emery's a pretty cool guy.
Hey, shout out to Emery.
Yeah. Neat though. It was a neat experience going to those venues, seeing the different, because you go to California, you might think like, oh, all these venues are going to be bigger. Coming from Illinois, so all these venues are going to be like bigger, more exciting. It's California. I think there's a romanticization. Is that even a word?
Yeah, romanticize.
Romanticizing. I think there's a certain romanticizing that happens around every person that's from, especially I would say, a Midwestern culture or like even a rural culture and or a rural environment, not even culture, because the culture isn't always dependent on your environment, but a rural environment, going to a coastal spot or going to somewhere that might be depicted in movies as opportunistic or great or, full of beautiful colors and wonders. There was like a funny, I'll correlate this to I guess there's a group of people in Asia that there's a name for them, and they have lost their mind. Delusion. They like get depressed after going to Paris, France or something, because it's been associated with love in so many movies that it's like they're the chemical imbalance of joy associated with what they experience. They'll go there and look to get married or fall in love, and it's like, that's a pretty crazy concept to think,
Right.
Never being somewhere, and I think we all experience it. For people that have ever moved, I know you traveled.
Oh yeah. I've seen some places.
So you can only probably relate to that feeling of like, wow, it's way more, but not what I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah.
And it's that every time. I don't want to say like I'm 100% sure, because everyone has their own perception. But for me, mostly, like, it's been that every time.
Right.
This is way more than I ever thought it was gonna be, but it's not quite what I expected. And
sometimes I get headaches and think, I'm like, man, this is surreal. Like, is this dreaming right now? Yeah, I definitely.
I remember getting dropped off in Hollywood and almost passing out with my cousin. We walked into a sushi spot, and I was like, "This is sushi?" No, not even like this is sushi. Just like the essence of California started like seeping in, because that's where I first lived. I lived in Van Nuys, California, like right outside of Hollywood, for the first couple weeks, and I would record with my cousin out there.
Okay.
Shout out Chevy Gang Cast. My man was in a movie with Terrence Howard and Tyrese Gibbons.
What movie was that?
Tyrese Gibbs, my bad. It's called The System. It's called The System. Yeah, so it's sick. It's out. It was out in theaters, and was it the end of October? End of October, I think. And then it's on Netflix right now.
Oh, really? You ever seen it and everything?
Yeah. I bought it when it came out. My cousin's he's actually the climax of the movie. His song they play. It's the only song they play through the whole movie. So
you had to get that one.
So it was dope.
Okay.
So shout out to him for that. And that's how I met JK, who kind of speaking of more recently, because you asked me like, hey, I think this all stems from my music. I have music dropping with Jack Kafer. I'm definitely gonna be working on another project with Cass soon too. I think we have a few projects coming. I was just on the Nobody Famous project, An Album By. Go check that out. It's called An Album By.
An Album By.
It's called An Album By.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And that's by Nobody Famous, and that's a cool cooperative there. A great team to work with. We made quite a few records. If you look us up or type my name up, they're gonna pop up too. But yeah, we just dropped one, No Love Lost. and that's on Jack's project. I'm gonna double check just to get you guys right so that you know. So if you want to look up Nobody Famous and hear the latest piece that I've been on, and that's with Jack Kafer, you can go to his album, Everything Was Beautiful and Nothing Hurt, just dropped January 6th. Yeah, he's got some killer tracks on there. 1989, that's probably my favorite on the album. Just shouting out my guy, that's some really nice work.
Shout out Nobody Famous.
Yeah, Nobody Famous, Jack Kafer, Chevy Gang Cast, you know what it is. Man, I got some stuff coming, a few singles here and there. I got an album I've been working on. It's low key, but when it comes out, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's what
That's it. I mean, that's like now. Here's my question for you. Usually, towards the end of each interview or each episode, I usually, when I have guests on, I ask them a typical question, which is, what is a piece of advice that you wish someone gave you starting out?
Honestly, man, just to quit. Like, you don't have to spend so much on stuff. Because you spend a lot of money, like everybody spends a lot of money, like, and a lot of people want to tell you like inspirational shit, like I'm gonna switch it up for you, I'm gonna tell you like some literal shit, like watch where you spend your money. If you're willing to go buy some party shit or go hang out, not saying don't network and socialize, because that'll put you in great places as well. To each his own at the end of the day, so this advice might not apply to you. But for the general pop, I would say, put your money in your music, like, because we rapping out here, we passionate, we singing, we playing our instrument, whatever we doing, like, put your money in your music. And that's something, like, I don't even think that I have the best habit of doing still to this day, even though I have, like, I would consider some funds that could be allocated toward that, a lot more than they are currently. But, yeah, put your money, invest in yourself, like, literally, don't just invest in yourself, time on the craft, this and that, like, take some money out, put it aside for yourself, like, put your money into something, get you a passive income, be straight on your money. Don't go broke investing into your music if it ain't making you no money. Like, invest in yourself. Make sure you have financial stability. Like, that's my end goal at the end of anything. You know what I mean? Like, hey, how quick can we utilize changing the impoverished mindset from that lack of financial literacy to financial stability? That's my goal. Like, find that financial stability point for yourself so that your career can take off.
I like that. And before we start out of here, shout out any of your friends you want to shout out, any companies you want to shout out, any artists you want to shout out.
Clean Skies Tech. Shout out Jack K for once again. Shout out Cash. Shout out Ruby, my guy, long time. Glad to see you.
Thanks, man.
Man, shout out my boy Beezy, Brad Moore. That's my guy. He's a killer too. Money the Plug been going hard. Shout out that guy there. Man, Randy Ray, that's my guy too. Shout out Croft. I mean, there's a lot of people. I can shout out people all day, man. I love my guys, you know what I'm saying? My guys, my girls, my sister. My sister got a new podcast dropping, Symphony. You know what I mean? So check that out. Look her up on Instagram. That's SYN. I think it's PHUNNY. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I appreciate you coming out, man. I appreciate it.
Hey, man, thanks, man. It's a great interview, man. Great catching up with you. A whole lot of content. I feel like this is the first time anyone's heard your story, especially from the humble beginnings to where you at now. Hey, where you stepping at, man? Where you just did an interview at?
Goldie's room, right?
Yeah,
Goldie's room.
Yeah, we in Cody's room, baby. Where the music is hot and the vibes are chill. Remember, I'm your boy Ruby, and I got Pull It and Yo Baby Daddy, and we out. Peace.
Yeah.
It's all good in the afterlife. It's another day in paradise. America, we terrorize. We're the home of the parasites. It's another day we're paralyzed. Wait till we're sacrificed. It's all bad in the hood, all good in the afterlife. It's all good in the afterlife. I'm smoking too much, I'm drinking, I'm overthinking. People swear I'm off the deep end, I still feel decent, too high to decent.